What up, y'all? This is Decode Dating, and I'm back with another video. Been gone missing for a while, but I've been doing my research and I've been doing my studies for y'all men out there who's struggling with dating. All right? So, this is do this when dating, what I've learned. This is 6 months later that I'm doing this because I've done another video that was decoding my experience of dating. Now I'm back, right? So, topic number one, what I want to talk about. I want to explain to y'all how it is dating, right? What I've learned, key details of everything. So I'm a busy man. I work every single day, 7 days a week. I do not have any off time because when I'm not working, I'm working, if you know what I mean, right? So with my schedule, how I try to budget it is basically I got on a dating app. So if y'all see my previous videos of when I did the POF, Hinge, and BOK, I gave you a breakdown on how it works, which app I think is the best for my preference. You guys could say different otherwise, but I say Hinge one. Hinge one because it's a wide variety of different flavors, I would say. BOK is mainly made for black, so if you really like the black race, you're gonna go on black. POF is trash. POF used to be lit back in the day. Now it's garbage. You just have nothing but ugly book of wolves on there. But that's besides the point. Hinge one for me, right? Hinge is where I went on majority of my dates. So the experience of me dating on Hinge was better quality of women, right? It's easier to source out the, I guess, the ghetto ratchet women, right? So it was easier to talk, text, exchange information, and eventually link up. And we know in the dating market, it's hard for men to even get a date because, women are above men in the sexual market value until their age start to decline and they make more money. So for us, we have a disadvantage, but I'm gonna show y'all how to gain the advantages, right? So the male point of view on dating apps, I do recommend to go outside and cold approach, but if you are busy where you don't have time to go out most of the time, because today's Saturday and I'm going to work, but I am going out later tonight with my boy to go watch the fight. So if you do have time on the weekend, that's the time where you want to implement on finding your matches and linking up or dating, whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? So I did go on a few dates. I did match with over 100 girls. If you go check my last videos, you'll see that I did match with a lot. But I started to notice something. For me personally, it's a lot of money I was spending. In total, it's about $7,000. Yes, I know I spent a lot because some women I was casually dating, so it was consistent. It wasn't just wham bam, thank you ma'am. It was more so, oh, I like you after the first date, then the second date, and the third date. So mind you, as I'm going on a date with these women, I'm paying for majority of everything. Literally, I am paying for everything. Only they have to do is just pay their way to get to me. But there are some other women that I date from cold approaching mixed in with the dating app. So I did have a lot. I basically, I wouldn't call it a rotation because I wasn't smashing all of them, but I would say I had a calm draft selection of women that potential candidates for maybe if I wanted a relationship, right? But at that time also, like I said before, you always have to vet anybody you get encountered with because you don't want this relationship to be a waste of time or like mess your life up, right? So I've had a nice pool of women that I was dating consistently. Some would fall by the wayside, some will get disrespectful, and I don't stand for disrespect. You have to have morals, you have to have standards, and you got to understand when to walk away. You know what I'm saying? So kiss him and dismiss him. That's another way you can say, right? So I would give you a breakdown on the main important things to set up a date, especially if you're doing it on a dating app. It's a little easier because a lot of people Photoshop, so you could go on there and, fake this. But as men, listen, please, listen to me. Do not Photoshop your pictures, right? Do not have pictures of you 10 years ago. I would say max 3 to 5 years. And try to have more recent ones, right? If you're out of shape back then, don't put pictures of you out in shape and then out of shape unless you're trying to show a transformation, right? It's not gonna add up, right? Don't put, oh, I was in shape 10 years ago, but I'm out of shape now, and then you put that on a dating app. What do you think she's gonna think when she sees you in person? He's a fraud, right? So for me, I never had experience like that, because typically when either I see the woman in person, I see her how she is already, so I can judge it from there. Like, okay, she looks like this. I know I'm gonna expect this on the date when we go out. But see, dating apps and Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook or whatever, it's hard because you don't know how old that picture was unless she's standing next to something, or you can tell it's from high school or college days. But I'm 33. If she's a grown woman, you're gonna know if how she looked when she was younger till now, right? So you don't want to have that image in your head where like, oh yeah, this is her, and then you get tricked, right? So make sure you try to see if it's a recent picture and the Photoshop. Um, I had one girl that I was interacting with on Hinge. It didn't go nowhere because I noticed the edit and the Photoshop, like the pictures were being warped, like in the back. She was trying to pinch her hips in, so it just looked distraught and looked dumb as hell. But I did confront her and I said, "Hey, did you edit your photos?" And she said, "Oh, just a little light touch up and this, that, and the third." In my head, I'm like, "Shorty, this is not a light touch up at all." I'm not trying to embarrass her, but it's just like, if I'm going to take you out and spend money on a date to court you, I don't want to be lied to. That's like going to a dealership saying, "Oh, I have $100,000. I want to get that G-Wagon brand new off the lot." And when you take it out and you start driving it, the speedometer read different. It had more miles than you originally wanted on it, right? So it's a used vehicle. Like, you don't want to be deceived. You don't want to be lied to. You don't want to be tricked because you feel like you're gonna waste your time and money, and all the effort you put in, you could have put in somebody else. So be careful of that, right? So after you weed those little things and little mishaps out the way, now is when you get to the nitty gritty time, right? So I'm gonna give y'all the breakdown on how to date. Do this when dating, right? Number one, hunt for the woman you find attractive, right? Not literally hunt and, like, kidnap her or try to, hurt her or kill her or whatever like that. Hunt in a sense, because we do have an animalistic nature about us. We want to find a woman that we would like to procreate with. Don't do that off rip, but just be mindful that, hey, a lot of men find a way to qualify and women find a way to disqualify. So don't go out thinking like, oh, damn, well, she's ugly in the face, but that ass is fat though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get you're down bad. Like, it's a little easier for me because I beat the genetic lottery. I am 6'3" and I'm 240 pounds. Give or take, I do need to lose weight, but that's besides the point. It's easier for me because I'm seeing from a lot of women, right? And you could just basically say women say that I'm very attractive. Cool, thank you. But that's besides the point. For other average men out there, 5'8", 5'9", who struggle because their height and other men beat them out, make sure everything else is on point. Your confidence, your teeth. Make sure you're not having yellow teeth and shit stuck in your teeth. If you do need braces, get braces. Make sure you smell good. You're confident. You have charisma. You can hold a conversation. You can articulate yourself. You are knowledgeable. You can protect her, because if you go on a date and you lack all of those, you're not going to go on a second one. Or she's going to embarrass you. You're going to be in a group chat. She's going to be laughing at you to all her friends. And then if her friends were potential candidates to be with, you can't now. You just kicked yourself out the pool of women. All right? So be mindful of that. So after you found a woman that you're attracted to, whether you're cold approaching or you're talking on a dating app, you have to act fast, because there's a lot of other men that want her. And if you got her attention, you're in the race, right? And your sexual market value is going to dictate where she places you or not, right? Looks, attraction is the number one trigger for women. If you don't look attractive, she says, I can't picture myself sleeping with him, and you're flaunting money, guess what? She's only going to be with you for your money. So make sure you're not posting pictures of money and stuff like that. Be subtle with it If you have a nice car, take a picture, but make sure it's in the back. Don't try to show it off too much. Don't flash a whole bunch of cash, change your guns. And we're not doing none of that. We grown here, right? We want a sophisticated, nice, respectful woman. We don't want these hood booger wolfians out here destroying yourself. Don't do that, right? Number 2, make sure you have a budget set, right? So you know how some gamblers gamble, they call it bankroll. Make sure you have a bankroll for dating. You don't want to be out in these streets calling your homie like, yo, bro, I took it to Ruth Chris. I took it to SDK. I took it to Philippe Chow. Bro, I'm short $200. Can you send it to me? Or if it's like, imagine if it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, you at the bar with Shorty, you run up the tab, not even paying attention because she finessing your dumb ass. And you have to call your brother and go sleeping. Now what you gonna do? You look goofy. You gotta be smarter, bro. You gotta be smarter. So make sure you have a budget set. Me, I'll speak for myself. I have a spot that I do security at sometimes on the weekend that I take. And I do know the people there because I work there, so I do get discounts. So if I want to get a large pitcher of a margarita that could have maybe 6 drinks each from both of us, bro, that's gonna run me $20. Usually it's 40. Then I get food. So I'm really spending maybe $60, $50 at most with tip when I take these women out. Mind you, it's a lounge, bar, arcade in the back. So I have a place that I can take women to make it suitable and fun and inexpensive. So find a spot in your local area, because the next thing is going to be another thing you got to pay attention to, right? So once you have the bankroll set and you have your money in order, don't go out on a date. If it's a cheap date, ice cream, if she really likes you, she's going to take a walk in the park and get some tea or hot chocolate or coffee, something inexpensive, if she likes you enough, right? 3, you plan the date. You, as a man, should plan everything. You have to have that masculine frame to know that, hey, I'm the man, I'm setting the tone for everything. Time, place, and what to wear. In those order. You got to tell her, hey, listen, we're meeting at 7 o'clock, and you tell her the place. You send an address, right? And you tell her what to wear. If it's casual, semi-casual, whatever, formal, you tell her what. I don't advise an extravagant date in the beginning, because you might not like her or she might not like you. You spend $300-$400 on a date and you just wasted a whole bunch of money, and she's going to go home and fuck another dude and you're going to be crying. So that's on you if you want to do that. I don't advise that. So you plan the date, time, place, and what to wear, right? You make her meet you there, right? Like I said, it ties in. 4, low investments in the beginning. You don't want to go over your budget. For instance, if your budget is $100 for the first date, that's transportation for you, food, drinks, or whatever activity you're doing for the both of y'all. If you go over $150, $200, now you're starting to go over your budget, because now imagine you're going on dates twice a week. Say you go on a date Friday and you go on a date Saturday. You're in the hole $300. And let's just say, if you don't see the deal, you spent $300 to do nothing, to go home and beat your meat. You don't want to do that. Low investments, right? Set a budget. Me, I usually like to spend maybe, because if you make a certain amount, I like to spend 60 and lower in the beginning. Now, if I had a FaceTime conversation and I felt out everything, the vibe, or I met her before person and I can sense that her attitude, her personality, and if she's complying to everything I'm saying and reciprocating the same energy, yes, I'll spend a little more. Then my budget would be $100. But you don't want to go over that. Don't go over your budget, please. 5, let her meet you at the place you pick for the first date. The reason why I advise this is because imagine going on a date with a woman that you say you meet online, and y'all have had a FaceTime conversation. She's presentable, she's pretty, you don't mind taking her out. You take her out and she has the craziest attitude, or she's disrespectful, or she's embarrassing you. And now you're liable to take her home. I'm not saying you have to, but you are liable. Say if she left her bag in the car, now you have to go back to the car. You called an Uber, something like that. Typically, you want her to meet you at the place, because now she has to worry about herself going home if shit hits the fan. This happened to me before, where a woman was disrespectful, but I'm glad because I met her at the place. I didn't have to say, oh, damn, let's get in the car, or you left your jacket in the car, let me go take. None of that, right? Make her meet you at the place. It saves face, trust me. If, like I said before, you had a conversation before and the place is maybe out of her range, you know, a certain miles away, you can call her Uber, but I don't advise to get the address. Say, give me an address close to you, and then I'll call an Uber there. So now you're not liable, you don't know her address, and nothing could go down like that, right? That's just for the first date. 6, let her let the conversation flow. You're getting to know her. So ask questions, mainly make her talk, but don't treat it like an interview. Don't say, well, yeah, what do you do for a living? And that. Just let the conversation flow. Throw a little jokes in there. Like, you're so pretty. Do you do esthetician, or do you do makeup tutorials or something like that? Like, I love your skin. You take care of your skin. What do you do? Boom, let her talk. And then she'll tell you what she does, her occupation. This is if you guys didn't have a conversation prior on the phone. I do recommend FaceTiming before to just set the tone, but if you didn't, let the conversation flow. Don't antagonize her, interrogate her, do a whole bunch of other weird shit like niggas do and stare at her. And don't be a creep. Let the conversation flow, reciprocate, but mainly let her talk, because she'll tell on herself during this date, right? And teach her something new, right? 7, pay for the date and make sure you ask if she gets home. So when the night is ending, when the night is ending, make sure you pay. What I like to do is, when I'm out, we're drinking, we're having fun, we're eating, whatever, and she says, oh, I'm gonna go to the restroom. I usually finish eating first because I'm big as shit and I scarf down food. When she goes to the bathroom, I make sure I walk to the bar, I go to the waiter, and I make sure I pay ahead of time, because when she comes back, we can leave at any time. Stuff is handled. I don't want like the woman seeing the bill. You know what I'm saying? So when she goes to the bathroom, or she says, oh, I got to make a phone call, whatever, she's out of your presence. Or you could even go to the bathroom. Once you go to the bathroom, you could go pay. And when you come back, bill's already set. She'll be like, oh, you have to pay? Now I already handled that. Now it looks like you're responsible and nobody has to worry about anything. You put the tip, everything is paid for. Now, and as you guys are part way to go home, mind you, you didn't call her Uber or anything like that. If the day goes well, at the end of the day, and she's respectful, yeah, you can call her Uber home. You could give that friendly gesture if it's not going out of your budget that you set. Make sure you say, text me when you get home, or call me when you get home, just to give the reassurance that you give a fuck, right? A lot of men don't do that, but you should do that. Prior to this, what I forgot to add, during the date that you're setting up, right? So 3, when it says you plan the date, make sure you ask if she's allergic to anything. I usually do this because you don't want to bring her to the spot where she has an allergy to something, like a peanut allergy, and the spot you bring her to, cook it in peanut oil, and she gets sick. And now you trying to save her life. Don't do that. Make sure you ask if she's allergic to anything. I forgot to add that in there. Now, at 7, when you tell her, text me or call me when you get home, you're giving that reassurance that you care and the date went well, okay? Last but not least, this is number 8. And a lot of men, I had so many friends who would call me and like, yo, bro, it didn't go how I expected. Listen, do not have high expectation. You might not get this match. You might not. This is why I tell men low investment. A lot of dudes go out the way. They'll probably rent a car. They'll take her to the extravagant dinner, spend $500-$600, going to take her home, and she says thank you for the dinner, and she walks inside. Now you spent $1,000 to go home and beat your meat. Stop having high expectations. Not every woman is going to sleep with you the first date. Not every woman is going to sleep with you the second date. Not every woman is going to sleep with you the third date. Just because you fuck Kimberly the first date, don't mean you going to fuck Ashley the first date. Every woman is different. Some women have more standards than other women. So keep that in mind. Not every woman is smashable the first date. You're going to get yourself in trouble thinking just because it worked on her, it's going to work on her too. Don't do it. Don't push your luck. Don't overly make her want to drink. Don't be a creep. Don't be too overly sexual. A lot of women used to tell me like, oh, I went on a date and he was just fiending for sex. I don't bring up the sex. in the beginning. I don't. If she does, cool. And then I change the subject. Let them bring up the sex. And then you know how to gauge that. And I do jokes like this. I remember when a girl was like, oh, she tried to bring up a sexual conversation. I said, listen, we're not worried about that. You got to take me out on 2 dates first. I made a joke. I made it seem like this is how women act. I'm not easy. You gotta give them that little push and pull. Make them think like, damn, all right, he got standards. He's not out here smashing. Even if you are out here smashing a lot, don't make it seem like you are, bro. Don't don't be a creep. I'm telling you, just chill. If she's drooling over you, let her drool over you. Hold yourself and be strong. Be militant. Don't give it up too easy. All right. So these are my breakdowns. I'm gonna do more videos like this on breakdowns on what to do during dating. I'll do a breakdown on the second date and how to set it up and make sure everything. The second date, I would advise a little more investment, more outdoor activity if it's not too cold, and you do an indoor activity, cool. Um, do something fun, something where it's not too much loud music. I don't advise the first date to get drinks. That's just me. I would rather talk to a sober mind. It's a little bit easier to interact, and I don't want her to wake up and say, I forgot everything that happened. I'll say save that for the third date so you can see how she handled her liquor. But at the same time, every time you're going on a date, make sure you're observing everything that happens and how women talk. So observe your surroundings and make sure you know how to handle yourself when you're out. Don't be on the dinner table or wherever you're at, chilling with the girl that you're on a date with, and your eyes are on another woman's ass. Don't be disrespectful like that, because now you're wasting her time. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is my breakdown. Do this when dating, what I've learned, and this is 6 months later.